Welcome to Open House Radio with Howard Cohen. Open House Radio goes where no other talk show has gone before. To the limits, to give you the best advice on real estate investments and opportunities anywhere.
People think this is going to be the same old real estate show. We're the originators, not the imitators. Here on Open House Radio, we deal in all things real estate. And don't be surprised to hear us talk about our favorite resorts or do a restaurant or a beer review.
Be sure to tell your friends to stream live and get out your smartphones. You're going to need them for Open House Radio. Now, here's your host, Howard Cohen.
Good morning. I am here. I made it to the studio finally. In case I know we got everybody online waiting for me to come on. This is Howard Cohen, and you are listening to Open House Radio. That was the craziest beginning I've ever had to a radio show. I've never been late before, and it wasn't really my fault, but thank goodness for the BART. It finally made it. Who do we have on the phone there, Kevin? We have, is Jean-Marc and Scott with us this morning already? Jean-Marc, are you there?
Here, loud and clear.
Hey, how are you?
Awesome. Now that you're there, hopefully you're good.
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah, I was just a little out of breath. I ran literally pretty far to get the last way there. Scott, are you there also? Scott Basson? Hello, calling Mr. Basson.
I'm here.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Good.
Good. All right. Well, in case people haven't been listening to our show before, we are a real estate call-in talk show. We are live. We are here every Sunday morning from this week. It was 9:21 to 10 o'clock, but usually from about 9:06 to 10 o'clock on KDOW. And I'm very happy to be on this station and talk to the wonderful listeners that we've been talking to over the last couple of weeks since we started here. And we are trying to bring you good information to improve your lifestyle, whether it be from Scott, our lawyer, who you can call up and ask legal questions having to do with real estate or contracts or whatever interests you may have that are of concern to you right now, perhaps, or you want to call me or Jean-Marc, my partner here on the radio with me, who we also do real estate and loans together in the Bay Area and sell investment properties and help people with their investment goals and deals all throughout. You know, whether it's in the Bay Area or we're out around the country. We go all the time looking for properties and trying to find the best real estate deals, the best cap rates, the best cash-on-cash return, and then translate, and we'll talk a little about this today, translate those figures and terms that I'm kind of spouting out right now into sensible information for you as a consumer who wants to invest and buy real estate. And it's very difficult sometimes for people who are not actually work on this business every day. I mean, they want to buy in real estate, they want to invest their money, and they know that leverage and cash flow are things that they want, and they want to utilize their ability to buy in a market where things are lower right now, that the prices are really good right now, and the deals are out there. So I know there's a lot of people out there that would like to take advantage and figure out how do they really get a piece of the action going on in their life and get the real estate right now while the getting's hot, right? I mean, Jean-Marc, we hear a lot of that, right? Everybody right now is talking about get it while it's good, right?
Absolutely. But when your prices are down, no one really knows exactly what's going to happen in the economy. But if you can make something work cash flow now, more than likely it's going to be good long term. Even if the value drops, technically, especially on single-family homes, if the banks decide to release a lot of their inventory that they're holding and prices drop a little bit, if your rental income is stable and is supporting the income on the property, supporting the expenses on the property, it doesn't matter whether that house drops in value a little bit or not. It's going to come back, and you're sitting tight. You're getting your cash-on-cash return. You're happy. So if you can make a deal work now, whether it's a single family or an office building or a hotel, now is a great time to buy.
It is fantastic. Well said. And you know, one thing I was just telling somebody else, actually somebody I was hanging out with last night, who I was telling to listen to the show. I said, you know, you can buy a property and get a certain cap rate, or as a return, as they call it, on your cash, and say it's in some of the investments we're looking at right now are somewhere between like a 15 and a 20 cap, which means you get your money back within 5 to 6 years. that you put out if you paid cash, 100% cash for the property. And one thing that isn't really considered in that figure that I was mentioning to them is that you also have the appreciation factor of the property, which who knows if it goes up, by whatever percentage, you're also going to be able to add that onto your return if you were to sell the property. And then also you've got the fact that you're paying down your loan. If you did take a loan on a property and you're getting a certain rate, by the time you're done with whatever, you're going to pay down that loan by a certain amount as well, which also increases your equity share in the property. So it's really a little more complicated than just saying, I'm getting an X number of dollars return, because if you really position yourself right, and that's what we were talking about last week a lot, is positioning yourself in the market. And that means taking as much cash as you have or availability of credit or whatever and figuring out how to make it work the best for you towards your real estate goals. Then you're going to end up with, if you spend the time to do that, to position yourself, and if you spend the time to really plan and make it work for you, then you're going to end up with being a lot better off based on that. And that's really what we're here to do, is to try to tell people different techniques and ways in which they can do that.
Howard, one thing I wanted to add.
Yeah, please, Scott, go ahead.
Not only is it a good time to buy because prices are down, but unfortunately the reason that prices are down is so many people are losing their homes, and those are people that are going to be tenants because they're going to need a place to live. So actually the rental market is up, and it makes it easier to rent the properties out once you buy them.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And, I think people, I've said this many times, and it's true almost now more than ever, is credit has become the great equalizer. I mean, a lot of people out there that had really good credit, they don't have such great credit anymore for whatever reason. And I'm not sure that, you can always look at somebody's FICO score anymore or their credit report and tell them, you're a good person or a bad person or you're a deadbeat or whatever. Now it's more like, you will be able to get a traditional loan, a conventional loan, or you're going to have to go some other way and figure out how to do this a little bit differently because, you're right, the foreclosures are up, and that's going to put a bad ding on people's credit and make it difficult and sometimes for them to get a loan and buy more real estate if that's what they're looking to do. They may be a tenant for a while, but it doesn't prevent people, in my opinion, from renting one place and then maybe buying investment properties on the other end until they get back on their feet or get back to where they want to be. Right? I mean, we can do that, Jean-Marc, right? We can show them how they can buy investment properties even if they're still renting a house that they're, residents in.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, when I bought my first property, this was 25, 30 years ago, I could not qualify for a loan on a single-family house, so I ended up buying a 6-unit building. And how that works basically is, on a multi-unit building or on anything residential, any income property, the lenders are looking at the income of the property and the performance of the property much more than the performance of the individual.
Right, and that's huge. I mean, that's something, again, another little nuance that some people may not know, and that's something that they have to give us a call to find out perhaps, and we can show them some different ways to do different stuff that they had no idea about. That's a good segue into a break. We're going to, because it's exactly 9:30, we're going to take a break, and then we've got some interesting guests on the line. I've got Robert Gradelli from Kangen Water, which I want to talk to when we come back. And if you would like to ask any questions of myself or Jean-Marc regarding some loans, some real estate questions, or if you want to talk to Scott Basson, our attorney. Scott, give your website real quick before we hit the break.
Sure. It's www.bassonlaw.net, BASSINLAW.net.
All right. And if you want to call us right now live and ask a question, it's exactly 9:31. Call me. I want to hear from you if you have any questions whatsoever. The number is 800-516-1220. That's 800-516-1220. My name is Howard Cohen. This is Open House Radio, and feel free, call us. We love to talk to you. We're going to take a short, quick break. We will be right back.
Jane says, I'm done with Sergio. He treat me like a rag doll.
Who's the guy on first base?
That's right.
Okay.
All right.
It's the best of the golden age of radio.
Now, who's playing third base?
Why do you insist on putting who on third base?
What am I putting on third?
What is on second?
You don't want who on second?
Who is on first?
I don't know. Third base!
Hi, this is Craig Roberts. Join me along with Bud Abbott, Lou Costello, and all your favorites for Yesteryear, the best of the golden age of radio. Sunday nights at 10 on the all-new Business Radio 1220 KDOW.
When waltzing with Phil Grandy, it's best to let him take the lead.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
All right.
Okay, here we go. Ready?
Anytime there. Okay.
It's a dance that any investor will love.
That's very nice.
And your portfolio will thank you.
That's right.
Phil Grandy.
And I'm just getting wound up.
Weekdays at high noon.
Let's get this show on the road. Phil's Gang with me, Phil Grandy.
On the Bay Area's business leader.
Guess who? You got it.
AM 1220 KDOW.
You're listening to Open House Radio on AM 1220 KDOW.
All right, welcome back, San Francisco. Now, I'm feeling a little better now. A minute ago, I was a little bit freaked out because I was running into the studio late. The BART was killing me. So now I'm here, I'm relaxed, I feel a little bit better, and we had so much to talk about today, so I want to make sure we get to as much of it as possible, and hopefully we will. The show, as you may or may not know, and I will reiterate, is a show about improving your lifestyle through various methods by which we can help to bring you the information about. And if I said that correctly, I didn't write that down, but it came out, I guess, okay. We're trying to help you to show how to do the things you want to do better, okay? And maybe you don't know about real estate. Maybe you have a question or two about some legal issue that's bothering you with your situation. Whatever it may be, we have to figure it out. And if you want to listen to us, and we've got the resources to help you do that. My next guest is a gentleman by the name of Robert Gradelli, and he is a man who I've met. Lived down in South Bay for quite a while. He's down south and works with a company called Kangen Water, and I want to bring him on the phone right now and just give you a brief intro because it's right along the way that we talk about making your lifestyle great. Well, this is something that can help to do that, and it's something I believe in. It's something I've been using, and I really, really think it's a fantastic product, and that's why I wanted to have him on the show with us today because it does. It makes, things that make your life better. Robert, are you there?
Howard, I'm here.
How are you, buddy?
Great. How are you doing this morning?
Fine, fine. Thank you very much for asking. Okay, so you heard the intro. So tell us a little bit about what the water is, what it does, and why it's good.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you for having me on the call this morning.
No problem.
I'm actually one of the top distributors in the world for the Enagic Corporation. Is the company? It's a Japanese corporation, and they're the manufacturers of what's called a continuous electrolysis water generators. Long word there, but it's something that's been used in hospitals and clinics for over 30 years in Japan and just being introduced here in America. And so what it does really, Howard, and it's quite fascinating technology, it literally hooks up to your faucet and takes ordinary tap water, and with a process called ionization, first it filters our ordinary tap water, and with a touch of a button, you can make 5 different kinds of water. And you had mentioned Kangen water, and that's one of the waters we make, and Kangen actually means as a trademark of the Enagic Corporation, and Kangen means return to origin. So returning our water that's been altered, our tap water, not a natural water source anymore, but returning it back to its original healthy living state like a natural water source. Some of these waters around the world that people go to, like Lourdes, France, and waters that have not been altered by man. And so with the touch of a button now, we can create similar waters by electrolysis right in our own kitchen. So we can make...
we change it back into what's natural by not natural methods, but...
Right, well,
how does that work?
I can describe to mimicking Mother Nature.
Okay.
So the Earth has electromagnetic energy, and with natural water source, that electrically charges the water. Well, we're doing the same thing.
And what is that? Why is that good? Because that's something people are having a hard time understanding, I think.
Right. It's actually restructured, ionized, alkaline, antioxidant water. So with a touch of a button, we can make
different waters from strong acid water that you can use for sterilizing, will kill 99.9% of all bacteria. It makes a water with a 5.5 pH, which is beauty water for the skin, just like a toner. Tighten, tone, and soften the skin.
And this is like a filter, right? You put it on your. Is that how you do it? Is that how you get the water?
It's a countertop machine or under the counter. It's about 16 pounds. It's a medical grade technology in Japan, and it literally electrically charges the water after it goes through a filter, then into an ionization chamber. Something that most people don't know about here in America yet. But the company came here in 2003, and it's spreading very rapidly because of the benefits of drinking this water.
Yeah. Now, what are the benefits? Tell me some of those.
So the benefits of, easiest way for people to understand is the benefits of, people understand the benefits of eating raw foods or juicing, right?
Uh-huh. Well, I try to eat as good as I can. I mean, once in a while I will break down and, buy some stuff that I probably wouldn't normally want to eat. But as a general rule, I mean, I'm 47 years old. I'm in good health, thank goodness, and I want to stay that way, and I want to try to stay as young as possible. And I know Jean-Marc is my friend, my business partner. We're, working hard to go out on the weekends and, do fun stuff and exercise and eat right. I mean, I know he eats really well, and I try to eat well. So is this along those lines of, trying to eat well? You got to then drink the right water too.
Absolutely.
I mean,
what kind of water are we putting in our body? What we get with restructured ionized water is better hydration than any other type of water, because three things happen to the water when we electrically charge the water. We create a microclustered water. The molecules are much smaller. Many books compare it to like glacier water or some of these natural waters. Six-sided hexagonal water, so it's easier hydration into the body. Hydrates, carries nutrients into the cells easier, carry waste products out of the cells. Also, it changes the alkalinity of the water, so you can drink anywhere from 8.5 to 9 to 9.5 pH, which is just like raw foods. Alkalizing, hydrating, helps balance the body, the pH of the body. Also, it creates an antioxidant potential to the water, just like raw foods and juicing.
That's what I've heard about. And again, I'm not, I don't know, people who don't really know me yet, they think I'm, maybe asking these questions that are set up or something, but they're really not. I'm trying to learn just along with everybody else, and hopefully when I have a question, other people out there have the same question. And that's what I've actually heard about it in the news is about the potential for the antioxidant and the fact that it makes it hard for you to get sick. Is that right? It's harder to get sick, seemingly, or is there a lot of research that people can look at and find on this?
Scientific studies, and like I said, they've been using this technology and this water in hospitals and clinics for over 30 years in Japan, and it's relatively new here since 2003 in EDGIC headquarters in Torrance. But yes, there's all kinds of scientific data and everything, and people can go to our website and see all the advantages of drinking this water compared to bottled water or filtered tap water. And another thing, what's becoming so popular about this is because we're trying to save the environment, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So it's all about going green and getting rid of this plastic nightmare of buying plastic bottled water that's ending up in our oceans.
Absolutely.
And, all this big soup sludge of plastic, from what we're understanding, in twice the size of state of Texas, one of them. They found 5 places around the world. So if they watch the movie Tapped, have you ever watched that movie?
No, I haven't seen that one.
TAPPED, themovie.com. You can go watch a trailer. They'll tell you where to get it's a documentary about the bottled water industry. So I highly recommend everyone watches that, educate themselves. That's why we're starting to see a lot of the plastic, grocery stores not using plastic bags anymore. So it's all about saving the environment also.
Absolutely. Hey, what's your website, Robert, before we cut out of here? Give us your website and a way people can contact you.
The website is water, the number 4, energy.com. So water 4, the numeral 4, energy.com.
Excellent. And I want to thank you. You're not going to be, a one-time a one-timer, as they say, are you? You're going to come back on the show and talk some more about this.
Absolutely. We'll come share a lot of things about the water and what's happening and how it's changed many people's lives, and that's how what you talked about, how we can fit into the show. It's about helping people, change their life. That's our company slogan, change your water, change your life.
Yeah, I know, and I really like that, and that's the same as us. We're trying to help people to change their life in a better, positive way through whatever way we know how. I know how to do it through real estate investment, and you know how to do it through bringing people some information about this and among other things. So I look forward to speaking to you again soon, and I really appreciate your coming on the show with us. We're going to take a short break. If you want to find, again, Robert's website about the Kangen water, it's water4energy.com. If you want to call in right now and ask us a question, the lines are back open. We had some clog up on the line, I think, with some people trying to call. So if you tried to call a minute ago and you couldn't get on, please do call again right now. We're going to be a short commercial. We'll be right back. The number is 800-516-1220. The number to call in live is 800-516-1220. We come back. We're going to talk about some real estate loan information, and we'll be right back.
Over 600,000 users worldwide trust it.
iTunes?
It's got a 99% deliverability rating.
iPizza?
It helps people in business do more business.
I don't know.
iContact.com.
I knew it.
iContact connects you with your customers and keeps you connected. iContact is trusted email marketing made simple. You simply create or customize marketing letters, newsletter templates, tips, tricks, special deals, whatever your customer wants to see. Then use iContact to spread the word. Turnkey for less than $9 a month. iContact connects you with the people interested in what you have to say. And its easy-to-use custom software tracks your response by customer, so you'll know what they like and what they love. Try iContact's trusted email marketing program free for 2 months when you use the code word CONNECT and sign up at iContact.com. It's profitable and it's affordable at less than $9 a month. It's trusted email marketing made simple. iContact.com. Promo code CONNECT.
You're listening to Open House Radio on AM 1220 KDOW.
All right, welcome back. My name is Howard Cohen, and you are listening to the best real estate show ever. We don't only talk about real estate, though, on this show, and we talk about anything that you want to talk about. So if you have a question about what's going to make your life better, and you've got a thought that we might be able to help you, my partner, Jean-Marc Landau. Are you there, Jean-Marc?
I am.
All right. My other buddy, Scott Basson, who is our legal advisor here on the show, making sure I don't step on my tongue.
I'll keep you in line, Howard.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You haven't had to smack me around too bad so far.
So far, you're doing okay.
Okay, good. Thanks. I appreciate that very much. You don't even know. In the meantime, I want to talk to you real quick. I went this weekend down to, I mentioned last week after the show, I was heading over to the Velvet Margarita Cantina, which is in Los Angeles, and Hollywood, as a matter of fact, right on Cahuenga Boulevard. And I got to give them a quick plug because they are one of our favorite sponsors on this show. And it was one of the best ceviche dinners I ever had. I had ceviche. I had their triple salsa crown and some really good margaritas. I did not drive, of course. I took the public transportation because I don't like to drink and drive. But it was an excellent, excellent meal. And if you ever have a chance to get down, oh, and by the way, the dessert was just unreal. I mean, the apple fritters, the churros, and the pudding was just, I couldn't even believe how good that was. So I want to thank Carlos Big Daddy and Ava, his wife, for putting me up. And if you have any questions about them, call me or go on our website. You can find all of our sponsors are on our website, including Scott's website, our website, the loans, the real estate, Travel Bums, which we have a segment on this show that we do from time to time called Travel Bums. I talk about great resorts and locations. And I was thinking my friend Raphael was going to call in today and talk about that. I'm not sure if he is or not. We've got a a place waiting for him. In the meantime, go on openhouseradio.info. That's the website. It's openhouseradio.info, INFO, and you can link up to all the stuff I just talked about. You can also sign up for the investment hot sheet. If you're interested in finding out where the hottest real estate investments are around the United States and elsewhere, perhaps we'll have some international stuff on there from time to time. You can go on investmenthotsheet.com. That's investmenthotsheet.com. Just click on there, sign up, and you can get on the list to get the investment properties that we talk about on this program. And we don't always have a lot of time to talk about all the properties that we find. So if you go on there and send us an email or call us after the show, which you can call anytime. Jean-Marc, what's a good number to reach us during the week, and where they can call us, and talk to us during the week and stuff?
Actually, the best number during the week is 1-415-484-LOAN. So 1-415-484-5626.
Okay, so 484-LOAN. Sorry, I'm sorry, I stepped on you there.
That's okay. No, we'll answer that anytime, week or weekend.
Okay, good. I will not be answering it, but I will be there if you call. Well, hopefully somebody else will be answering it, because we do get a lot of calls, and we always return all the calls and all the emails that you send us. Always. We are very good about that because we want to talk to you, and we're more than happy to take as much time as necessary during the week to do that. We don't rush you through it, and we certainly don't charge you for it. So give us a call anytime at 484-LOAN, and that's area code 415. Let's go to the phones, take a quick call, and then we'll get back and talk a little about the loans before we're cutting out of here. We have a guy on line one, Mr. Steven. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Hi. What's your question?
My question is, what is the most advantageous way to get a competitive interest rate for a person who has gone through 2 foreclosures and 4 short sales in the recent 3 years or so? Currently, I have a piece of property I'm looking at, and what I'm running into is 10.5% interest rate at 3 points. Is there any other viable option out there for me?
I'll jump in here. There are a number of viable options. A lot depends on how recent those foreclosures and short sales were, and the strength of the property. So are those all in the last 2 or 3 years, or have they been spread out over longer?
The foreclosures were done back in 2008 and 2009, and then the most recent short sale was done in May of this year.
Okay. More than likely, most of the banks, most of the institutional lenders will not touch it, but there are a number of private loan sources that will look at that, probably in the high 7s to 9% range. So it's still not the 4.5 to 5.5 that you would get from an institution, but certainly better than 10%. So
yeah,
I'm happy to talk to you and try to connect you with one of those sources.
Have you gone already, Stephen, to talk to like some other lenders, and they said they couldn't get them at the lower rates, or are you just trying to start out now looking for something because you think you can get a good deal on something, and how's that working?
Well, I've been talking to credit unions, not a chance. The big institution, like Bank of America, Citibank, not a chance. And the private lenders are the hard money loans, and they're charging, like I said, 3 to 5 points, anywhere from 10 to 12%. And the best one I've found thus far is 3 points at 10.5.
Yeah, well, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Well, no, actually, I'll jump in. As a hard money loan, that's actually a reasonable quote. There are many people that are quite a bit higher than that, as I'm sure you've found.
Yeah.
But once the institutions, institutional money is by far the cheapest. And when you get into either a property or a borrower that doesn't quite qualify, then you have to turn to hard money, and you just have to factor in the cost of that higher interest rate. Right. If you can't get a bank to finance you, then you are stuck with hard money rates, and that's just part of it. I mean, I actually had a 6-unit building with a brick foundation. We needed some cash. It was in third position, and we ended up paying 15% on that. And I was happy to get the money on that particular building. Now, obviously, you pay that off as fast as you can.
Yeah, well, what's the chance that you get to refi something like that? Is it an idea to go ahead, get the money then right away, just if you don't want to lose the property, and then take it while you can, so to speak, and then go ahead and refi it? Would that be the best way to go, or?
Yeah, that's my current plan too.
I'm sorry, Jean-Marc. Yeah, go ahead. I was asking you if you thought that would be a good.
Yeah. No, I think if it's a property issue, then you definitely get control of the property, reposition it, and that's part of a much bigger conversation. There are lots of ways of repositioning. But basically, once you get it up and running and the cash flowing, that it will qualify for an institutional loan, then you refinance it. If you have previous foreclosures and things like that, the banks are not liking, then typically I would look at forming an entity to hold that property, get the property performing, and to start establishing a credit rating for that new entity.
Excellent.
Separate from any stuff that came before.
Okay, all right, that sounds great. Scott, Stephen, thank you very much for the call. That was actually a good question, and I'm sure when everybody asks one question, there's always about 1,000 other people that have a similar question to that. So you just helped about 999 other people with their question, I'm sure. If you need to do that, Jean-Marc, what's the best procedure for them to do? They're going to call us at the office, right? And then you're going to ask them a couple questions.
Yes, call us at the office, the 1-415-484-LOAN, so 484-5626. And every instance is different. So Stephen's scenario is going to be slightly different than anyone else that calls. So every single one is going to be a custom scenario, but there are multiple ways to get properties financed. And anytime you're buying a property, the cost of the financing is integral to the price that you're willing to pay.
Jean-Marc, I just had a quick question.
Part of it. It's a different way of looking at a deal.
Jean-Marc, I had a quick question on something you just said.
Sure.
So you suggested that he take the title in a legal entity. So is it easier for him to, for example, form a limited liability company to take title? Is that an easier way for him to get a loan?
Well, when you're just forming a single-use LLC or any other entity, that entity does not yet have an established credit rating. So there are some companies out there that sell quote-unquote seasoned entities, and you're going to pay for that. So that's something to possibly look at. But if you buy in, let's say, an LLC and hold that for 12 months, now you've established 12 months credit history for that entity, and you can most likely go back to the banks.
And effectively, you're not bringing his negative credit rating to this new entity.
Correct. However, the banks today, much more than 3 years ago, are looking at the sponsors, who is actually owning that entity and what is the history there. But unlike residential real estate, as soon as you get into commercial, and that includes 5+ unit residential as a commercial property, the banks do look at sponsors, but they're primarily looking at the property, and they will also look at what the circumstances are. If something catastrophic happens, such as what happened in the economy, and there was just no way to get around it, you can turn that away from what they call character issues. If someone has a medical emergency and that put them into bankruptcy or whatever, that obviously is not a character issue. That's something real.
Okay, good answer there. And if we have any other questions, you're going to have to call us at the office on that one because we're almost out of time here. Give us the number one more time, Jean-Marc. And Scott, give us your two numbers, please, real quick, and before we wrap this here.
Okay, so the number at the office for any real estate or loan questions is 1-415-484-LOAN. So that's 1-415-484-5626.
And you can reach my office at 415-753-5245. And as I mentioned, I'm on the web at bassinlaw.net.
That's BASSINLAW.net. That's Scott. If you want to reach me on the web, you can get me at my email is the letter U, radioshow@yahoo.com, the letter U, radioshow@yahoo, or you can get us on the web also on the show site, which is openhouseradio.info, or you can get up the investment hot sheet at investmenthotsheet.com. Before we close off here, I know I have about another minute. I did want to say my uncle, Norm, passed this week, and he was he wasn't really my blood uncle, but he was like my uncle and my dad's very best friend, and died in a motorcycle accident going down his hill in Big Bear. Unfortunately, he crashed, and he was a really, really amazing man, and just want to say he went out like he lived. He enjoyed himself to the very last, and gotta wish him peace. Quick story about Uncle Norm. He was in the Olympics in 1959, I believe it was, as a cyclist. And sometime years later, he was in a race where he passed a young Lance Armstrong going up the hill and beat him in the race and kicked his ass, actually, in that race. And when he went up to Lance's mother after the race and told her that he really needed to get a new bike and that was not the best bike for him. And a few weeks later, Lance Armstrong and his mother showed up at my uncle's house and asked him could they please take him down to the bike store and buy Lance a bike. And he did. So thank you, Norm, for all the fun stories you gave me, and may you rest in peace. And I also want to say congratulations to my daughter, Juliet, my youngest, for making the freshman volleyball team at high school this week. It wasn't easy, and she really showed tenacity, and I think that's just incredible, and I wanted to congratulate her on that. We're all about making your life better on this show. That's what we're here to do. We enjoy every aspect and every minute we can, and we think you should too. So we're going to wrap this up, but if you have any questions, you ever want to call in and talk to us during the week, reach us at the office at 415-484-5626. You can get us on the web anytime. My name is Howard Cohen. I'll look forward to seeing you on the radio next Sunday morning at 9 a.m. right here on KDOW.